On the 4th of July, voters in Moray, West, Nairn and Strathspey will go to the polls. And I, Euan Morrice, am standing for the Scottish Family Party in Moray, West, Nairn and Strathspey. I believe every life is equal and the value of all human life. That's an insanely important thing to me. I also believe in women's rights, that a woman should not have to share a private space with a man. I think that women's rights, such as the right to a private space, should be enshrined in UK law, and the right to have privacy from men in changing rooms and bathrooms. I don't believe that a man can become a woman. I think it's a biological fact. I sympathise with those who have gender dysphoria, but I think that you cannot change your biological sex, and it's dangerous to suggest so. Children with gender dysphoria can often be misled and confused by those around them. I really sympathise. It's not easy, it's really tough, but I think the kindest thing is to let them go through puberty, let them live out their natural bodies, tell them it's okay to be a bit different, it's okay to be, uncomfortable in your own body. It's your body, and you should embrace it, because we're all different, and that's a good thing. I don't think telling kids that they were born in the wrong body is productive at all. I think it's extremely dangerous. I think the government needs to do more for families and children. There are so many families across Moray, West, Nairn and Strathspey and the rest of Scotland that are struggling right now. They're having to choose between putting food on the table or keeping the lights on, and that's just not right. There are children going hungry every single day. It's just heartbreaking. The Scottish Family Party is committed to introducing a marriage allowance, a fully transferable tax allowance between a married couple. This would allow one of them, if they wanted to stay at home or they didn't have a job or they were earning less, to transfer to their spouse who was earning more, meaning more money gets back into the pockets of working families, because that's where it belongs, is back in the hands of people who really need it. As part of my commitment to sex-based rights and gender rights, I would repeal the Gender Recognition Act. I don't think that a man holding a gender recognition certificate is a woman, and I don't think the law should. The Gender Recognition Act of 2004 has to go if we agree that a man can't become a woman. I am committed to getting the A9 dualled. It has to be done. We can't wait any longer. There are people dying every few weeks. It's just not right. We also need the A96 dualled and bypasses in Elgin and Nairn. It's just not acceptable that the northeast of Scotland has been left behind. I would also stand up for the whisky industry. It supports thousands of jobs in the northeast and the Highlands, and it is the lifeblood of so many communities, and yet it is taxed at almost 78%. It's just not right. I would seek to reduce the whisky duty and look at trade deals, changes to trade deals to promote it abroad, because there are huge markets that we could be exploring with all Scottish produce that we should be aiming to open up, because Scottish produce is world class, it's world renowned. I would stand up for our farmers. They are some of the hardest working people in the UK, and yet they're the ones who earn the least. They're the ones who are struggling right now, having to put in extra hours. It's just not right. I would seek to see if we could change the law around business regulations for farmers, because a lot of farmers end up spending hours doing paperwork that they shouldn't have to do. We could look at a new business structure that streamlines tax work, that streamlines their annual accounts, that makes it simpler, means that farmers can go back to doing what they love, farming, and spend less time doing the boring stuff that us accountants love. So on the 4th of July, maybe lend me your vote. That's Euan Morrice, the Scottish Family Party, standing up for families.